do you think has happened there? Is Meghan excited about this trip? Is she being dragged by Harry, who's desperate to reconciliation with his father? Or what's going on?
Well, I think the fact that it's happening after all the things that Meghan has said about the UK and about the royal family, and the fact that it's happening for this non-event of the one-year countdown, which Harry could easily have done on Zoom from Montecito, smacks of desperation. And I think that what this move reveals is the total failure of the Sussex brand in the United States. The money is drying up. The gigs are just not there. There's a golden handcuffs deal with Netflix, which is a first look agreement. So there's a few million in it, but it's effectively Harry and Meghan can pitch ideas to which most likely Netflix will say, those are horrible ideas, thanks, but no thanks. We know that Harry's speaking engagements have dried up, and he used to get $1 million a speech, now it's 50K. The As Ever brand is struggling. That jam or spread or whatever you want to call it ain't selling. So I think that this move, so prematurely, a year ahead of Invictus, reveals that I think Meghan and Harry are really worried, in particular Meghan, who, my sources tell me sees herself as the breadwinner. And the received wisdom is that they get back to the UK, recalibrate their royal credentials, and hopefully it boosts their brand.
That is Mark Donnan, who believes once again that somehow it is the farm who can save Harry and Meghan. The same farm wants to destroy Harry and Meghan, and the same ones who can save them. I'm sick and tired of this BS, these lies. I'm so sick and tired of them. Harry and Meghan have done well outside of the royal fold. If they were inside the royal fold, they would never be happy. They would never have achieved half of what they've achieved, outside of the royal fold. And Harry and Meghan have shown you don't need UK media on your side. You don't need the firm on your side to excel outside of the royal fold. You just need one thing: to believe in yourself, to trust in yourself, to work hard, and which Harry and Meghan are doing to earn an income. Well, you can media praise Charles and William for wasting taxpayer money. I'm sick and tired of this, nonsense being spread by the UK media. Hello and welcome back to Grace Loves Drama. My name is Brian and I'm joined here by
Grace.
So thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you to all of you who already have subscribed. If you haven't, please do so kindly. It's gonna mean a lot to me and Grace. So Grace, go ahead.
I have a couple of questions, Brian.
Yeah.
So Joe Elvin has asked Mark Dolan if Meghan is happy to come back to UK. Why ask that question if we know they don't have good intentions towards Meghan?
Because they know one thing. They know that Meghan isn't someone who will be happy if she's back in the UK, and they know that very, very well. There is no happiness for even both Harry and Meghan if they're back in the royal fold. They know that very, very well. So they ask this question because they know that after every single thing that they put Meghan through, there's no way she'd ever want to just come back to the UK just like that. Especially when this carnival of so-called experts, as you can see yourself, are still mocking her, insulting her, her children. There's no way Meghan would ever want to come back to that. And they know that very, very well. That's why I said even a few days ago that, the farm, had the Sun Income Summit. Why? Because they thought that Prince Harry could be easily manipulated. They knew that the person who they were targeting, Meghan, who they were abusing, is not someone who is easily deceived or manipulated, to do things that, of course, don't benefit her. So they thought if they only had Harry there, they could get him to do what, of course, they want. Well, they were wrong. They were wrong. Because all in all, Prince Harry fled the UK with Meghan, Archie, and now also they have Elizabeth Diana. They have kids who they think about. So Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, after every single thing that she's been put through by the media, which is currently ongoing, they know very well Meghan won't want to come up with that. But they're like, maybe Harry will.
Yeah.
Maybe Harry will. Well, they're wrong. They'll be severely disappointed when right after the games are over, Harry goes back to Montecito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the same Joe Elvin asks Mark Dolan if he thinks Meghan is being dragged back to the UK by Prince Harry, who she claims is desperate for a reconciliation. What can you say about that, Bran? Or what do you think about that?
Here's what I can say about, what they're saying. She believes that somehow the only way that Meghan can stay from the UK is if somebody is dragging her back here, not willingly.
Willingly, yeah.
Why? Because they know what they put her through. They know the pain of what Meghan has had to go through at their hands. They know of her suffering. So there's like they know that Meghan isn't a fool. As the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They know after every single thing that Meghan has been put through, Meghan doesn't trust them.
Yeah.
Because they don't have good intentions. But to go as far as thinking that maybe Prince Harry is dragging Meghan back to the UK, that is not what Harry is doing.
Yeah.
Harry would respect Meghan's wishes. If Meghan never wanted to come over, she would not. Because you hear Mark saying that, after what Meghan said about the UK, why would she come back here? Yeah. Meghan has spoken positively about the public in Britain.
Funny enough.
Yeah, exactly. So when you hear him saying, Meghan has, after what Meghan has said about the UK, Meghan hasn't said one bad word about the UK.
Never.
She's only ever talked about the racism she went through in the UK from the UK media and also some senior members of the royal family. That's what Meghan said. But overall, Meghan said wonderful things about Britain, about the public, about the love that the public showed her. Even Prince Harry, in the Harry and Meghan documentary, spoke and said, I want to remember Harry's words. He said that even Meghan will miss the UK.
Yeah.
Why? Because of how she was treated kindly by the public. Harry said himself that he'll miss the public, but he won't miss the online trolls and UK media and their trolls. Yeah. That's what Harry said.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody who even both Harry and Meghan don't want to be around, but want to force themselves upon Harry and Meghan, it is the UK media.
Yeah.
It is people like Mark Dolan who say the most negative things about Meghan and then somehow want to be in close proximity to her.
Yeah.
They are the problem.
Yeah, they
are the problem.
Yeah.
Prince Harry does not have to drag his wife back to the UK. If Meghan, of course, has said herself, she loves the public. She'll join, she's okay.
Yeah.
Prince Harry wants his kids to get to know their heritage. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And Meghan will not deny even Prince Harry that. Meghan just wants to be safe.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Wants her kids to be safe. Harry also wants the same thing. That's why Harry has been adamant and said that there is no way I will bring Meghan, Archie, Lily to the UK with me without security.
Yeah.
If he has gotten that, then for sure he'll bring Archie, he'll bring Lilibet, and of course Meghan, if he has gotten that security. Because he does love the UK. What he doesn't like are the UK tabloid media. They're the ones who they don't like.
Yeah. Mark Dolan claims he has sources who are telling him that Meghan, Harry, Archie and Lilibet coming to the UK shows a failure of Harry and Meghan's brand in America. What do you think?
A bunch of disgusting lies from Mark Dolan, and his behavior honestly doesn't surprise me even one bit. If Harry and Meghan have failed, like Mark is claiming, then how come he says that, oh, you know what, Prince Harry and Meghan will be making millions from Netflix? How come if you failed, why are you making millions then? Because he says that, you know what, Harry and Meghan's deals have dried up and that somehow they're failing, because of that. Already, Harry and Meghan have made like more than $100 million, in America.
Yeah.
A lot of money already. Even, and also they think that somehow they know Harry's paycheck. Is how much Harry has earned, for speaking engagement, or what is earned $50K. How do they know this? Do they know this? What are they told? by the people who are organizing Harry's speaking engagements. They don't know that. They don't know that. They can only speculate because they do want to see Prince Harry fail, and then they say that somehow they'll offer him something better. They won't. They won't. They won't. Even when Harry was in the UK, according to the Biden Times, investigation, they claimed that Charles was giving Prince Harry $1 million like a year, for example, right? Just think about this, Grace. If Prince Harry makes even that what they're saying, 50K for one speaking engagement, just one, for goodness sake, is that not more money than what Charles was giving him, for goodness sake? But then here they are claiming he's failing. Look at the wonderful home Harry and Meghan live in Montecito. Compare that to what they had in the UK. It's even insulting to compare, because Harry and Meghan have clearly elevated in life. That's why you see Mark Dolan, you see Matt Wilkinson of The Sun, all of them demanding that Harry and Meghan move to a small place. Why? Because they want to project and lie that, oh, you know what, you see, Harry and Meghan have failed, and things aren't going well for Harry and Meghan. You see, they failed. Things are not working out for them. When in reality, things are working out for Harry.
Really good.
Things are working out for Meghan. And if it's them coming back to the UK, it is not desperation. It's Prince Harry wanting his kids to want to get to know the heritage. And also Prince Harry is coming for one purpose, also for the Invictus Games. That's why he's coming over. And in every single 1 year countdown, Harry's always there. Doesn't make Zoom calls. It's not Harry isn't King Moulton.
He's such an intentional man.
Exactly. Who cares about what he's doing and hardworking? King Moulton will mention a phone call as an engagement she's done for the day. So you understand. So you understand the kind of thing that they call working. They call working, making a phone call. So you see, how he even thinks that maybe Prince Harry will do the same thing, make a Zoom call. That's why Kate's charities have failed. That's why Harry's are doing well. Why? Because he's there, he's present. He wants to be physically there to see the preparations, and he's been in Dusseldorf, in Netherlands, in Canada. He has never ever missed the 1 year countdown. But now Mark is saying it's a non-event and that I should miss it. Maybe just going to go do a Zoom call. That's why you see charities that Kate supposed, for example, fail because she's only making phone calls.
She does not put in so much effort
like Prince Harry. But look at UK media, how they want to take down Harry's work, his engagements, what Harry has achieved. Why? Because they can see that what Harry has achieved is special, what Kate has achieved is nothing.
Now, with this kind of rhetoric, do you think this will make Harry and Meghan stay in the UK, where British media clearly want to see them fail? Do you think?
I always say that I'm very, very convinced that right after, if indeed Harry and Meghan come to the UK with the kids, I'm convinced that they will leave very soon. They won't stick around longer than they have to. Why? Because of this, appalling rhetoric. There's no way Prince Harry wants to turn on his TV screen and watch the mother of his kids be abused. There's no way he wants also his kids also to watch their mother, be insulted by the media 24 hours a day. That's why I'm convinced right after, the events are over, they'll go back home to Montecito, whereby they're happy. Because in the UK, it's about just being miserable. Honestly, it's about being miserable. And don't forget that they said that Netflix was done with Harry and Meghan. Now they're saying, they're giving them them a couple of millions, but they won't agree to every project Harry and Meghan have. I thought you said that Netflix was done with them. Now you are saying that they are working with them. They don't even know what to decide to talk about, really, for goodness sake. They keep on changing the stories because they are lying constantly. The one who tells the truth here is Prince Harry. It's Meghan. It's my family. They're the ones with the truth. You can't say the same thing about Charles, about William, about Camilla, about Kim Moulton. You just cannot, because they're full of lies. And I'm thankful that Harry and Meghan tell the truth. I'm very, very thankful. And everyone can be able to see this. So I know that in my heart that in the UK, Prince Harry and Meghan will receive a wonderful reception from members of the public.
That's for sure.
And I know that's what William, Kate, Charles, Camilla even are afraid of. And you know what? That is what I predict we're going to see. And that's not even a prediction, it's a spoiler. Because it's going to happen. You know, so thank you so much, Grace, for having
Thank
me
you
once
for
again,
coming.
and for being here for these segments,
Yeah.
which of course I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
I hope also you're enjoying as well. So please, if you are, kindly take a moment to subscribe, and please don't leave without subscribing. I beg of
Yeah,
you. I
please.
beg of you, don't leave
Yeah.
without subscribing. And for more and more joint segments, we need more voices. We need you. We need you. So please kindly be here. Thank you, of course, and goodbye, and see you on our next video. Bye.